Hi, and welcome to the latest Dreams Deep Dive. Joining me tonight is Cutaia, the creator of
Oh,
Hops. How are you doing, Cutaia? You alright?
I'm great, yeah. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hello. Thanks for coming, thanks for joining. It's great to talk to you. I played through Hops previously, and I really enjoyed it, and I just thought, yeah, this guy should be spoken to about this. All 100% original assets and music, and it's really cool game, man. It's a really cool game.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So, I'm just wondering, shall we just load this up just now?
Yeah, might as well. We'll see how this goes. I guess whatever you want to know, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, that's not a very good logo, is it?
Well, I think that's a fine logo, man. I think that's a fine logo. There's nothing wrong with open bracket, name, close bracket, right?
And it's just one of the default fonts.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, straight away, we're on the menu of Hops here. I mean, first off, like, what's your inspiration for Hops? I mean, did this come into your head before you even had Dreams, or...
No, this Hops kind of came just out of nowhere, just while I was creating. It was actually kind of an accident that he was even a rabbit in the first place. I just started sculpting something one day and just kind of started realizing his face was starting to look like a rabbit. And I was like, you know what? Let's just go with that. And then
Yeah.
and everything past that, I just kind of, I mean, there's, as far as inspiration overall, there's a lot of like old school, like Nintendo 64 kind of platformer inspiration, I think.
No, I definitely got that vibe when I was playing it. But it's amazing to hear that you didn't even plan for it to be a rabbit, you know, you just sculpted and then thought, oh, you know what, he looks a bit like a rabbit. Let's just roll with this. I think that's really cool. Like a happy accident.
And you can see he was like one of the first sculpts I really did, so you can see that like some of it, like things I've done later on in the level are they're more well sculpted than he is. Like if you look at his little abs, they're all blocky, and his little tie is just
But it's all, I mean, this is a big project, right? I mean, you're, like, you have presumably some sort of future plan for this as well? Or, no, sorry, am I talking too soon? I think, anyway, it doesn't matter.
yeah, we can get into that a little.
Yeah.
I definitely do have future Hops plans, but I think they'll end up in different dreams. So I think as far as just this dream itself goes, I think I've decided that it's complete.
No, that's
So
cool.
just answer questions from the chat here as well? Or?
If you wish, yeah, I mean, I suppose it is easier just to deal with them as they crop up rather than to save them all for later on. We may as well just go with that. So, straight up, DJ Frags, well, he's asking, how long did it take you to make this whole dream then, from sort of start to finish?
So I wish that there was a better way to tell, like, how much time you spent creating in dreams or whatnot. Because I think around the time I released this, I had about 240 hours in dreams. And a very good portion of that was all making Hops, because that was my sole project. But you know, there's obviously some amount of time I spent playing dreams and learning how to play, you know, doing the tutorials and whatnot.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, time playing, time doing tutorials, time even just messing around, sitting on a screen, not doing anything in edit mode, just because you're thinking or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I do a lot of just leaving, computers and consoles on and just walking away and doing something for a couple hours. So.
And I mean, Pudazuka straight up asks, "Do you like rabbits?" So there we go. Simple question. Do you like rabbits?
I mean, who doesn't like rabbits?
Exactly. I suppose some hares don't, but yeah.
I met one person in my life who just hated rabbits, and I was getting my car towed once, and it was winter, and the guy just started, like, out of nowhere telling me how much he hated rabbits and how when he sees them in the parking lots, he aims for them, and I was like, why are you telling me this?
Yeah,
this isn't a good look for you, man. You're just telling me you're a psychopath.
Yeah, I mean, like, especially since it specifically sounds like he has it in for rabbits, like not just any animal, but specifically rabbits. Like, what's he got against them? Yeah, it's really not good, man.
I don't know. Just a volunteer. It was weird.
Now, of course, Dreams is worldwide. People come from everywhere, and the chat would like to know where you are from.
I am in Denver, Colorado.
Cool.
Yeah, I saw a little bit said my way of speaking reminds him of Mr. Casey Jones.
Okay.
This is a compliment, right?
It must be. I mean, that's one of Dream's top voice actors, right? So, must be a compliment, surely. I hope it is anyway. And now Purazuka, well, I believe I already know the answer to this, but let's just ask it. Purazuka's asking, did you make this all by yourself, or did you collaborate with someone?
Yep, this was all me.
100% you, right? All the music, all the assets, all the...
So there is a caveat that, like, you know, a couple of the... when I made my first song, a couple of the instruments were, like, things that weren't just straight up instruments. So, like, there might have been things people tweaked and stuff, and you'll see that in the old credits there, but... It's easier to just say I did it all than to mention that every time, but...
Oh, exactly. And look, even if you use somebody else's instrument, you're still writing the song yourself with the instrument, right? So, I mean, I consider it your own work.
I come from a music background also, so, like, using a patch, like, has never felt like being a part of, like, you know, the creation of a song in the first place. Like, just in my mind, just coming from that world. Because like that's what we do all the time. We just, you know, we don't. Well, some of us do. Some people make all their instrument patches from scratch, but most of us just find something and tweak a little and roll with it.
That's cool. So I mean, look, we just saw in the credits there a little advert for your Spotify, and you just mentioned your musical background there. So would you like to talk about that a little, or like Kill Baron Fist? Is that like the band or?
Yeah, it's both. They're technically both solo projects, but they have kind of a different feel. So I had a different name for them. So one of them is just Cutaia, with the parentheses there, and the other one, Kill Baron First. They're both available on Spotify. So
it's very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I've been doing for years. I love music. I've never had a great deal of success with it, but I just keep doing it, and I've got a lot of stuff I'm working on in the meantime.
As long as you're having fun, man. As long as you're having fun, it could all lead to something eventually, right? Where, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I had one song that got on the radio a couple times here in Denver on our indie station here. But yeah, aside from that, I started going to open mics and stuff. That part took me a long time to start doing, actually. Like, that's, I think, been my biggest barrier. Is I've always had a lot of stage fright and just anxiety about actually getting things I make out there.
No, definitely.
So,
yeah, that's good that you seem to have gotten over it a bit, though. I mean, here you are talking to me, and I know that you've been streaming on your own channel as well recently.
Yeah.
So I guess you're learning to embrace the sort of live performance thing or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's all a part of it. It's all me just trying to be a little more, put myself out there more.
No, that's definitely cool. I'm just wondering, should we get straight into this game, or shall we just go for it? Let's do a full playthrough. I'll try and cover as much as we can. I plan on playing everything in this game, all the little areas. If you can maybe maybe let me know, etc.
Okay.
So yeah, straight away here we are as Hops, lovely bunny, with some lovely carrots in his backpack. There we go.
I don't know why he's a schoolboy, but he is. That's just kind of how that turned out.
Is that just the way he looks, or in your mind is he now definitely a schoolboy, like all the
I
time?
think I think you know what? Yeah, let's go with that. He's now officially a schoolboy.
There we go, exclusive.
There's not a whole lot of actual story or plot in Hops. It's all very open-ended. You can kind of decide for yourself why he's running around murdering all these poor creatures.
Some of the best things are that way, though, aren't they? Open to interpretation, you know. Now here's the first bit of voice acting, I believe. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna put the volume up a little bit. I'm being told it's too quiet, but so there we go, moving it back up. But straight away, yeah, so that was our first interaction with this NPC who talks about how meta it all is. And everything he says is completely spot on, man. I mean, yeah, you I take it you were inspired by like old school sort of, you know, PS1, N64 type 3D platformers and stuff, or
Yeah, all those old games where it's like they had scores, but it's just like, you know, it barely matters. Like,
yeah, like there was no online scoreboards. Yeah, it was all just just for fun and personal
it was
achievement.
Just see what you could do, and you know now obviously there actually is a pretty decent like speed running and score getting community in Dreams.
That's very cool. That's very cool. So that's my first interaction with these enemies here. I think they're very cool, man. I think they're very cool. And obviously, yeah, they disappear on a timer, I suppose, after you've killed them and all their bits.
Eventually they'll disappear.
I'm just wondering, like, when you were making this, what... I mean, I take it Hops was the first thing that you made, like, in terms of, you know, just this whole experience. Like, the character of Hops, I mean, like, he came first, and then everything else came after, right?
Yeah, and honestly, as you go through the entire level, basically, as you encounter things, that's pretty close to the order in which I made things. I kind of just built each piece of the level just one at a time, and so when I got to this section, I said, okay, I need to start putting some enemies in here, so I made them, and obviously they're you know, the basic, you know, your classic Mario Brothers Goomba kind of enemy. They just go towards you, you jump on them,
and I suppose, again, like, the decision of what that enemy is like was based sort of more on what came up naturally during the creative experience rather than perhaps a specific plan, or...
Yeah. a lot of the enemy... A lot of the enemies in this actually ended up being insects. And I think that's just because they were the easiest to create. Like those first pill bugs that you reached, that was because, you know, there's no four-legged puppet. And I really didn't have any concept of how to make something with more than two legs, so I just kind of... those pill bugs, they just have like a little animated... loose flecked ball underneath them that kind of looks like a bunch of legs moving around.
We're gonna have to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, so really it was just kind of out of not being very good at it. But I did, you know, I did put in like the time to try and make that character as cool as I could, so that was when I came up with the concept of, you know, when you do kill things, I wanted them to have actual death animations, and
for the body parts to separate,
body parts will lay around, and
it's really cool, man. It's really cool. Now we're going to talk to this guy again, see what he's got to say.
Who's Farmer Johnson? I'm Farmer Smith. Oh, hell no. Did that guy who made this game decide to only make one model for NPCs? Oh, I bet I have the same animations and everything. Am I pointing to my left right now? Well, that hack game designer is probably going to have you learn a new move to get across this river. Yup, typical game design. Well, if you'd like to complete a challenge instead, then why don't you rebel against the man and activate the next checkpoint without lowering the bridge? Don't ask me how, though.
Okay, so yeah, we've got this sassy guy, right, who keeps going on about game design and what a sassy game designer you are. Is this something that came quite early in the experience, or did you decide late on? Was it late on when you added all of this dialogue and stuff?
Yeah, so no, I added that dialogue. Well, I added most of that dialogue pretty much when I made him. That NPC in this challenge that you're doing right now to get over that river, I think that's one of the things that's been most illuminating about like game design, as I've watched people stream the game and whatnot, is just learning how to make things a little clearer. Like his dialogue used to have a little less dialogue, and I realized that the second he told people about the challenge, they immediately started going about it, trying to figure it out, and even people who didn't necessarily want to do the challenge then never went up to the bridge to just learn the move, how to lower the bridge. So I kind of had to add in some stuff to make it where within the dialogue it'll, reference how to lower the bridge, just so that they know, like, you don't have to do this challenge, but if you want to, it's there.
No, it's amazing. It's a great layer of depth, right? I mean, it sounds silly and it sounds basic and simple, but at the same time you are offering the player some choices, and that is a good thing to do from a game design perspective. It's very cool. I'm just trying to run away from these creatures now, to see if we can spot the ball. Not that we're trying to give away any of the secrets, just,
No,
yeah, it's very cool.
Everything's remixable and whatnot anyways, and I made puppets out of some of these enemies, because that was one of the things from the start I thought was really cool about Dreams, is that you can just make stuff, and it's been really fun seeing how stuff gets used. Actually, that little flower patch right below that you just landed by,
yep.
That flower patch is one of my most used assets.
Okay.
And that's just, I made those flowers like immediately after doing, they have that tutorial where they teach you how to make a flower with the kaleidoscope. And I made that like real early on, and it's just been used like so many times.
Okay, so
I don't
everyone,
always, yeah, you don't always understand why people like a certain thing you make, because I don't even think it's that good. But
I think it looks lovely, and it certainly fits the art style of this game you're using it in. I think it's great, man, but I appreciate the artist never appreciates their own work. It's okay. But that's great to hear that there have been assets that have been taken and used in a lot of stuff. Yeah, it must be really nice when people take your asset and then all of a sudden you get a notification saying such and such has used your thing in such and such. Yeah, it must be nice, man.
Yeah, I always check them. I always try and find it. Sometimes you can't find it. Sometimes, they use something in a way that maybe they edit it to where it's not even recognizable anymore, so you can't find it. But I always try to find it when I see those notifications.
Oh, that's very cool. And I'm dealing with a spider now, and we're on to our second enemy of the game.
So these spiders was where I decided to start getting a little more mechanics in how to defeat enemies, and they were actually another area where watching streamers I've learned people they never immediately know how to fight those spiders. So you'll see at the bottom of the screen there, I added that in, a tip that if someone's been dealing with the spiders for a while, it'll basically just tell them what to do, because I realized it just wasn't going well. It's just a shame. I like the idea of like having a multi-step method
Yeah.
of killing the spiders. You got to attack them and then jump on them, but
And even the idea of the player figuring it out themselves as well, right? There's a great there's something wonderful about player discovery rather than just having the player be told things, right?
yeah.
So yeah,
I think some of the issue with that, just with Dreams in general, is that like I feel like when someone sits down and starts playing any game, they immediately start to try and figure out, okay, what are the rules of this game? Like how does this game work? And you know, like when you play a Mario game, you know, the first thing is you start jumping on things, and then you'll try jumping on more things, and you'll get other weapons and whatnot. But I think some of it is that with Dreams, when you sit down and play Dreams, there's no every time you play Dreams, there might be a different way of approaching things. So I feel like it's like it might be harder in Dreams to get that to work out the way you want it to, because the person who's playing your game, they might have just come straight out of like a horror first-person shooter or something, and they're not even thinking of what you want them to be thinking of.
Oh, exactly. I mean, Dreams, I mean, there's so many different things in Dreams, and even games in the same genre can be incredibly different, and then, yeah, you just never know. You never know. Yeah, you never know how a player's going to react. Now, I believe I've already messed up the second challenge in the game because of the platforms that have disappeared,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I mean, that's on me. That's on me.
But don't feel bad. I watch most people screw that up the first time they try it.
Well, I wish this was my first time, so I had that excuse, man. But there we go. It's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, I did make it to where, you know, if you want to go collect them, there's always the scene select in the main menu, and you can always just go back to each individual scene in the game, and you know, it'll tell you how many prizes and challenges are specifically in that scene, which can help out as far as trying to find some of the things.
No, totally. That's what I mean. That's what big AAA game developers do nowadays as well, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's
So did
definitely good.
you said you wanted me to kind of give you some let you know if you missed something?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Go ahead. So please
yeah,
do.
one of the hidden prize bubbles there is as you're going backwards here.
Okay, I see that now. Maybe. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. See, that's amazing, man. 'Cause yeah, so much replay value. There we go. It came up on screen. So much replay value. Another
Those
little
are
nod.
random. So like I wrote a few of those, and they're random. So sometimes it's really funny which ones appear, because there's some like sometimes the very first one that's just right there out in the open. It'll be like, oh, you found that one, did you? And then suddenly it sounds completely sarcastic, depending on which one it appears for.
That's amazing, though. That's amazing. Again, a unique player experience every time that they play through it. Ultimately, everyone's getting a different experience, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And please let me know if I miss anything else. I'll try not to go so fast that because I'm aware that there's a delay between what you're seeing on the screen and what's actually happening.
That is true.
But
now these guys, when these guys die, that's about my favorite animation I made.
okay. Yeah, I love that. The little dissipation and then falling down. Just beautiful, beautiful.
I mean, it's so senseless. There's just these poor little baby birds, but you know.
So here we go. Not all enemies will let you get close to them, is what I'm being told now. And yeah, it's one of these spiders with the green goo. Now, again, do they? I guess these are just the same as the other spiders from earlier, but programmed tacked in a different way, or?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same model, but completely different. The other ones just had some tags on the ground that they kind of randomly patrol between. And there's a prize bubble near you right now.
Okay. See, I feel like yeah, of course. There we go. Good job.
But
so patronizing. Yeah, thank you.
I also did put in a walkthrough, like in the game, in the main menu. There's a walkthrough because it occurred to me, like with most games, if you want to kind of complete something and you're just missing one thing or something, and it's just you can't find it, that can be annoying. So I wanted to give people, just an easy way in game to just find everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very curious to check out the walkthrough afterwards, because I don't think I've ever seen any game in Dreams that has a walkthrough before. I think you might be the first. I mean, maybe you can correct me there, but I've played a lot of Dreams and I've never seen a Dream that has a walkthrough sort of option. I think that's very cool, man.
Yeah, I don't personally know of any, but it wouldn't surprise me. There's so many. You're searching, you're hunting. I see it.
Yeah, well, hey, man. I just want to make sure that I want to make sure I don't miss anything. That's all. Although I'm sure you'll let me know if I do. And it's not because I want to get all the things and be top of the scoreboard. It's just because I want to make sure that we cover all the aspects of the dream. I don't want you to miss something that you'd like to mention or anything,
Yeah. But yeah, those hanging spiders, that's another example. I mean, like I said, as you go through the level, I feel like I get better at logic and whatnot and the way I created certain things. Those hanging spiders are kind of a mess, like behind the scenes. They basically have like all these invisible blocks that are connected to pistons, and it's following those, and sometimes they can slow things down because of just the sheer amount of poison that they're emitting.
Yeah, I can wonder. I mean, see, what impresses me is the size of the scope of the world in this. Just looking around, there's a lot of nice assets, and it's a nice big area. And we are, of course, about to enter the game's first little boss fight, right? Which, again, is in the same area as the open world, when it would have been so easy for you to just create a new scene.
So that's one thing that I also wanted to do. I wanted to make big areas. I didn't necessarily want to have it where, you're going into a new scene for everything. So, like, this scene in particular took a lot of work to get it not slowing everything down constantly. Like, if you look from where you're at, if you look over by where the racetrack is and stuff, to your left, like, you'll see that, like, none of the NPCs are over there yet. And at some point, like, I started designing the levels in such a way that there's places you can't go backwards, so that I could then take those opportunities to emit large swaths of things and destroy stuff behind. And it's a great technique for making a level, getting the performance of a big level working a little better.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you have things get destroyed and emitted based on how far away you are, you can do so many things in Dreams. I know it's a lot of work, but yeah, I mean, it is worth putting the work in, I suppose, when you can create big areas like this that have so much going on. It's really cool, man. It's very impressive. So I guess I'm just gonna go into this first boss fight now. Yeah, let's give that a go. Although, Ledbetter is asking, wonder how it would look if you increased the fog range. I mean, did you touch the default fog range on this, or is it all sort of, I don't know.
No, I haven't even touched that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's alright, man. Didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. Just look into the chat for inspiration on questions while I fight this boss, that's all. I'm not sure if I presume you can see the chat yourself at the moment as well.
Yeah, I'm checking it out as well. So yeah, we got little invisible walls to force you to... Oh, there you do. You did the jump. That's one thing that I've watched on this boss. You saw you got another tip there, because I noticed not a whole lot of people were trying the jump attack on him.
Well, I think that comes from like previously in the game, we were taught to jump on the sort of woodlouse type insects, but we hadn't encountered any ladybugs before. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It came naturally for me to just sort of smack them with circle. But yeah, the jump definitely is the best way of dealing with it. I'm glad that the advice comes up as well. It's very cool.
Yeah. I saw. How do I pronounce this? Padazuka?
Something like that. Yeah, that's fine. Budazuka, Padazuka, whichever.
But I saw they mentioned the colors in that room. Those lights are actually an asset that I made and made it all customizable, so people can just go in there and mess with some sliders and stuff and change the colors and click a button to make them rainbow or do different things.
It's very cool. I mean, it's great that you made your assets with the with the community in mind, based on what other people can do with them. It is brilliant. I think a lot of people in Dreams can be quite sort of single-minded in that they only think about their own sort of what they can do for their own project, whereas clearly here you have made lots of assets that could fit into any multitude of projects.
Yeah. These platforms that you're on right now actually are another one of them that's got a lot of customizability put into it. So you can change the height of it. Actually, I spent about maybe a day or two on the math for these platforms, because you can see it's a drawing that is the actual strings for the platform. They spin around the top of that, and it took me forever to actually get the math to where those drawings worked right. No matter what length the platform was. But yeah, there's customizability in there too. You can make it just go up and down automatically, or wait for it to trigger to go up, or have it start at the top or the bottom.
It's such a little touch, right? But what impresses me is that when the lift stops moving, the things at the top, the paint sort of flecks, actually disappear. You'll see what I mean in a second. Obviously, you do know what I mean. I'm just not describing it properly.
Right.
I don't know, man. Yeah, the way that as the rope moves, obviously the flecks at the top change. Yeah, that's really cool. It's really impressive.
And it's amazing how long some of those little touches take sometimes. I had to draw that. I basically had to freehand draw that loop around the top about 100 times before I actually got it looking right.
Wow. And yeah, that's just the passion and dedication, man. It's really impressive. I really respect it, and I'm sure everyone else does as well. Now, I'm not sure if I'm actually going the right way or the wrong way right now.
So I would call that the right way, because you actually found that if you continue going up that, then you do get to this little hidden area that a lot of folks miss out on.
Good. I was hoping it was a secret.
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. Because yeah, of course, this is where I would have got off of the elevator had I. Yeah, so that's really cool. Oh, there we go. Our first encounter with them, or I suppose second encounter technically. But yeah, it's very cool.
My inspiration for him, I think, is there was played World of Warcraft for a while, and during Wrath of the Lich King, they had Arthas just show up in just about every. You're gonna want to hurry.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I forgot to sprint.
Yeah, that's another one-way or one-shot thing, because you got to grab both of those, and that'll allow you access up to that prize bubble there. But Arthas shows up in just about every single zone, in every dungeon, every quest, and it actually he showed up so much that it annoyed people. They were like, why is the boss just spending all of his time stalking us all the time? But I liked it. So I was like, you know what? this little bird, he's going to be kind of a thorn in your side the whole time, because he is, spoilers, he's obviously the last boss of the level.
No, it's great. I mean, it lets you build up this little relationship with him, right? Which you wouldn't have the opportunity to do if you never saw him right until the end of the game or whatever. So it's really good, especially the way that every time you encounter him, he seems to knock you down to a different area.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Okay, I think that might...
Yeah, that's
yeah,
one way to do it.
That's one way to do it, definitely.
That's my favorite way to kill those guys. There's definitely a rhythm to fighting them as well. And when they show up in other rooms where you can't lead them into water.
No, that's great. That's great. It's again, it's just the giving the player choice, right? Giving the player the option to do one thing or another thing. I didn't mean to make it go into the water, but I did it, and it worked. I think it's incredible. Here we go. Let's talk to this guy again, right? What sort of fourth wall breaking things will he say this time? Here we go.
Alright, for this next challenge, you have to race this old-ass turtle. Oh, come on. Isn't that a bit derivative?
So yeah, of course, here we go now with the turtle in the hair. And again, love this character, this turtle. I mean, did you, I presume that when you came up with this scenario, you did think it would be a turtle, right? So is this when you started crafting things with the plan of knowing what they would be?
This guy definitely, because obviously you're doing the cliche, you know, the tortoise in the hair kind of thing here. So I did craft him specifically with a turtle in mind. Now, you see that little head movement he's doing?
Mm-hmm.
I could not, for the life of me, get him to stop doing that. I don't know why he does it.
So that's not even intended, no? Okay,
no,
that's amazing.
But it kind of just looks like he's geriatric, so I just left it. I didn't spend any time trying to fix it. Past frustrating myself, I eventually just gave up.
It works. It gives him some sort of character, man. It really works. It's very cool. Although I wonder what's causing it. Anyway, it's weird.
No
That's
idea.
weird.
So you wanna go?
I've got all these strings attached to his head, trying to keep him in one place, and nothing worked.
Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna give the elderly turtle a race. Here we go.
Yeah, let's see.
3, go!
Okay. I hope I beat him first time. Sorry, carry on.
Oh, no, you're fine. I've been pretty happy with the balance of this race, because I wanted it to be the kind of thing that people don't necessarily even finish the first time, and that as they continue, they might then finish it, but not beat them, and then eventually they'll beat them, and it's gone pretty smooth, like surprisingly smoothly.
So you have noticed quite a lot of player engagement then? You're noticing that people are generally doing this then, I take it?
Yeah, and it's actually there's a leaderboard for it, so there's a couple of the speedrunners actually went and worked hard to beat my high score, and like Dennis 995, he beat my high score, and then we claimed it back. I spent like 30 minutes trying to get my score back, and I beat him by like 0.03 of a second. And then SNRG came in and just like destroyed my time, and I don't even know how he did it. So I don't know if I'm ever going to have the high score back on this race.
Well, it's only right that someone who's not the creator has the high score, though, in a way, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's satisfying to know that someone spent that time and you know, I guess enjoyed it enough to feel it was worth trying to get a high score too.
Oh no, there we go. Yeah, no.
But this race took a lot of logic tinkering. Because I wanted a race that worked good. I didn't want to just throw down the Dreamiverse Dash, so I basically opened up Dreamiverse Dash, and like I had like several sheets of paper, and I just like drew out all the logic to figure out what it was all doing and how it all worked and what I would actually need for mine and what I can get rid of, and was able to put some logic together for this that way.
So you just said there, right? You took out paperwork and you tried to figure it all out, right? I mean, do you have any history with sort of game development or game design or anything like that?
No, I don't. I mean, aside from playing Little Big Planet, I see some questions and comments I'll get to in a second. But aside from playing Little Big Planet and creating some levels in there, and obviously Super Mario Maker, I don't have any legit experience. But I've always wanted. It was always something I wanted to do growing up. Like when I was a kid, I used to take out sheets of paper and draw my own levels for Super Mario Brothers and stuff. So I mean, like Media Molecule, I wish we had them when I was a kid. I would have just absolutely spent my entire childhood playing Media Molecule stuff at that point.
Yeah, it's incredible what's available nowadays. I remember when I was a child, we did have basic sort of map editors and stuff for certain games, but obviously nothing on the scale of what's available now. It's incredible, it really is.
You're so close. I'll tell you what, there is a shortcut. I wanted it to be a shortcut that you can find on your own, and a few people have obviously found it. But when you're on the bridge there, the little branch bridge, you can kind of see there's a hole through the tree. So instead of following him to the right, if you just go straight towards the tree, you'll go through the secret tunnel there, and that'll cut a couple seconds off your time as well. That can be helpful. No, now you're just screwed.
Yeah. No, don't worry. I mean, feel free to address anything that's coming up in the chat if if there's anything.
Yeah, so I'll do that. I saw that Cobra was. It looks like Cobra is currently playing Hops, trying some things out, and mentioned number one that I need a sound for throwing carrots and hitting the boss, and that's actually that's a good idea. I assume you're talking about the Ladybug boss. Because even though health does go down, I would agree that sometimes people don't necessarily notice that that what they're doing. That feedback is very important. Like people need to know that what they're doing is working. So I probably will go through and add in some kind of sound when he gets injured, honestly, because. And you still have not found one collectible. I mean, let's see. You said that you can't get prizes, but I guess at that point that's where maybe the walkthrough would come in, because all the prizes would be available. I purposely made it where I wanted all the prizes available on the first run. Not necessarily that they're obvious, but that if you look around, you can find them all. Oh, that was a close one.
It was a close one, but we made it through the secret dev tunnel, so we're okay. We're okay.
I wouldn't call it a dev tunnel because you can tell that there's a split there as you're going from the right side. You can see that there's another path there, and that encourages people to look for it. So.
Well, I'm glad we got there in the end. I'm glad I done that finally. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you would think that this was my first time playing this game the way that it's going, but look, it's been a long day, guys. It's been a long day.
You got a lot going on right now. So what can you do?
Oh, it's all good, man.
We're all rooting for you on that as well. So.
Well, hey, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. I mean, that's the thing about Dreams, right? People in the Dreamiverse are generally rooting for each other, which I think is incredible, right? Think of any other gaming community where people are actually rooting for each other. I mean, you can't, right? Really? Maybe some MMOs, but even then, there are so many different groups within the MMO, whereas in Dreams it seems like there is a general sort of just acceptance that people I don't know, that people get on and people try to help each other where they can and to give support where they can, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's definitely like you can go onto Reddit if you have questions, and someone will almost certainly have some kind of answer for you, and it's a really good community. I only really started getting into the community recently when I started checking out Twitch and hanging out here with all you guys more often, and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, hey, thanks for giving that a go, man. Thanks for giving that a go. I'm sure we're all glad that you have been checking us out and coming and hanging on Twitch, man. We enjoy your stuff, so it's all good. It's all good. Now, I'm just curious, what would you say is the best method for killing these bigger insects here?
So the best one, at least these ones, is to just get them to go into the water. But aside from that, yeah, you just they go through a cycle. So they'll kind of be patrolling, and when you get close to them, they'll sort of aim for you. And then as they once they kind of get a lock on you, then they will. Ooh, look at that move. Once they get a lock on you, then they'll charge you. And once they're done charging, they'll take that little break, open up their weak point, and they take 3 hits, so they do take a little longer to kill, because you can't just keep hitting them once they're open. You do have to go through 3 cycles of that. But,
Oh, that's great. And again, I love these these ones sticking their heads out the holes here, the sort of the baby chicks or whatever. I know they can't be killed, but yeah, I love them.
They've learned from their last experience with you, and they put on some hats.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I saw in the comments Cobra was mentioning those retracting steps that you just went on to get up there. And actually, that's on purpose, that you can't see where they're going to emerge. That's essentially some Mega Man 2 influence coming in, is where those came from, because Mega Man 2 had some of these just like hard as balls, like platforming sections where they were patterns, and the bricks would appear in a pattern each time, but you would have to take forever to just keep trying them. And actually, the section like what you're on right now down below, when I first designed that, it was much harder.
Okay.
It was hard to the point that my wife got very mad at me playing it.
So that was the main influence.
You need to change that. Yeah, she was like, you need to change that, and I was like, okay, all right, fine, I'll tone it down. So now it's just got that one part where it goes backwards. That's the one wrench that I still let it throw in there just to add a little challenge. But yeah.
No, that's great. Sometimes it takes a good wife just to tell you to to cut it out and to make your game a little bit easier, right? That's what it takes sometimes.
I tried to be cognizant of like the fact that I've probably played through hops, not even joking, like at least it's probably been like 200 playthroughs, like in the end. And when you're playing your own game that much, like obviously you know every little thing that you can do, like and you get the controls are just embedded in your mind. You can pretty much just run through it with no difficulty whatsoever. So I tried to be cognizant of, if it feels too easy to me, then it's probably actually good.
Well, yeah.
And Audie in the comment there is, that's the wife.
Oh, there we go then. There we go. Thank you very much for joining us, Audie. There we go. And here we go again, getting knocked down. Yeah, it's wonderful the way that you build up the relationship with that boss, right? Because every time you see them, they knock you down, and it makes you feel quite powerless. And then, of course, later on in the game, when you meet them, then, or rather, when you eventually potentially face them, it does give you a sense of, you know, a real sense of accomplishment, I suppose. I don't know. I hope you understand what I mean there.
No, I definitely do.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're at. My stream is
yeah, sorry, man.
stopped right now.
I'm currently in the beehive. I just got knocked down from another encounter with the big bird, and I'm now yeah. There's like wasps and stuff.
I'm
There
back
we go.
now.
Cool.
So let's see. So one of the prize bubbles you just that you did miss when you got down in here. So I'm
Okay.
still letting you know about those.
I just accidentally turned on debug mode as well.
Oh, yeah, just hold that for 5 more seconds. Or just die. Yeah, that was something I needed to throw in there because I was having trouble getting the scoreboard working properly recently, and so I just had to make that to make sure everything was working from scene to scene. But yeah, at the very beginning of this scene, there's a hidden prize bubble in that first room.
Okay. Let's see, it's behind one of these then, right? There we go. Yeah, wonderful staircase there, wonderful. And now, do people have to collect these prize bubbles in order to have access to the element, or is it just all a bit of fun? Like, could they still access it through the Dreamiverse without the prize bubble, or
Right now, it's all available in the Dreamiverse, but I didn't know how that worked. If come to think of it, that does sound like kind of a fun thing to have just those ones be actual prizes, just to feel a little more meaningful, I guess. But I don't know. I'll think on that. Whether I want to. What would you just basically make them? What would you do? Just unlist them, but still have them in the prize bubbles, and that'll allow people to.
I think so. I'm not 100%, but I imagine that's how it must work.
I feel like that system was more clear in Little Big Planet. On this, since everything is so freely given out, I guess I wasn't really sure what the purpose of prize bubbles was necessarily. So,
all just a bit of fun at the end of the day, I suppose. But yeah.
So you get. So these bats, the most fun way to kill them, you can actually get them chasing you and run over those spikes, and the spikes will start killing them.
Okay.
Had I not, early on I had kind of settled on the amount of prizes and challenges I wanted in the level, which was probably a mistake, just because then I felt very trapped into that. I had built all the logic surrounding these numbers. Had I not done that, I probably would have added in a little challenge or something to kill these without attacking anything. But
sorry, just when you said we'll run over to the spikes and the spikes will kill them,
So, not those spikes. So there's,
the spikes in the ground.
Let me be more clear. Yeah, there's little patches on the ground that when you run over them, spikes will come out.
Yeah.
So if they're chasing you, then that spike can actually pop up and hit the bat instead. And
I thought it was that. I'm struggling to do it right now, but I can definitely see the theory behind it. It's very cool.
And that could
there
be
we go. I just got
I've done
to
so many times.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the curse of game development, especially solo game development in something like Dreams. I mean, if you play your own thing too often, then you do sort of, you become professional, like you were saying a few minutes ago. You become too good at it, almost. Yeah. So yeah, it's cool, man. It's really cool. Otti is saying they like going clap crazy on the bats. So there we go.
So that's one thing. I didn't put any cooldowns on the attacks, and I've had at least one person say, "Oh, you should put a cooldown on the attacks so that there's a little more challenge to it. You can't just spam everything." But people seem to have so much fun just spamming attacks that I guess I feel like I'm okay with it.
And now here we come to one of these other optional challenges, right? We had the race earlier, and now Yeah, you feel that perhaps this enemy is different from the others, that somehow you both share a deeper understanding of your divine purpose as video game characters. Would you like to psychically possess this creature's mind? And of course, yes, I am. But again, I love how you've got all these different gaming experiences within this 3D platformer. You know, like we had the race, and now we've got this maze section. You've really gone out of your way to add in different areas and sections. I think it's really cool, man.
Yeah, trying to have like a variety of things to do in the game was high on the priority list when I was coming up with it. So I guess so when I like, as far as when I said earlier that I designed everything as I went, that is true in terms of you know, creating sculptures and creating specific obstacles. But I definitely like sat down with a plan of like, I knew I wanted a race, and I knew I wanted we'll give a spoiler as you get to the end. There's a gauntlet challenge as well, and I knew I wanted things like that. I knew I wanted this scene right here where you kind of get to play a different character, which, funny enough, you're not actually like, I couldn't figure out how to possess this puppet. So actually what's happening is he's got a little remote controller on him, and Hops has actually now teleported to him and is laying on his back on top of him. That's what's actually going on, and then he teleports back when you're done.
Wow. That's an amazing behind the scenes insight. Yeah, I did not realise that at all. That's incredible. And again, it's the magic of game development, right? The way that you hide all of these different little things.
And it was literally just because I couldn't figure out how to make a possession swap actually work.
That's really cool. Again, yeah, it all comes from. Yeah, it's amazing how it just how it all comes from just trying to figure something out. You know, it's not an intended thing, but it happens, and it's really cool. Not sure if that makes sense, man. It's been a long day. You're okay.
No, it makes perfect sense. There's so many happy accidents in this game. Just things that just happen, and you're like, you know what? Let's just either let's just go with it that way, or you just could not figure out the actual way you wanted to do something, and I had so many times I went to bed trying to figure something out, and the next morning I would wake up and it was like, you have these little eureka moments where you're like, wait, what if I do this instead? So these enemies, these are another one that I rarely see people do a certain thing on.
Okay. A certain thing?
Because obviously you can just run around them and avoid them, do it kind of stealth-like. But you can actually, if you attack them, they will go into like a benign mode for a moment. So those shorter ones are a little easier to do it on. You can double jump and clap some of them, but
yeah, no, there we go. I see the color change.
They'll turn blue, and then you can actually run under them without them hurting you while that's going on. But I never see anyone do it, so it's just another one of those things where it's like, once you watch people play, you realize, okay, well, maybe next time I'll, design things a little differently.
Well, it's amazing, right? I mean, yeah, because, look, you said yourself, no game development prior to this, other than just a bit of Little Big Planet or whatever. But with the advent of Twitch nowadays, I mean, Twitch wasn't really around when Little Big Planet was around, right? Was it? Or if it was around, it certainly wasn't as big as it is now. So it is amazing how now you can watch people play your games and learn so much just by watching someone play. It's incredible.
It's incredibly helpful watching how people approach things.
Because I think people forget that when these big companies make video games, they do have a whole team of testers playing it like day in, day out from 9 till 5. And here in Dreams, you've just got to do it all yourself, pretty much, unless you recruit someone, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
The other thing that watching people play is helpful with is just bugs. And you, like, I think the very first person who ever streamed hops, I think they were doing the race, and then they ended up stuck in a little area that I didn't realize existed, that they couldn't die, they couldn't get out of it. And at that point it was like, well, I guess we're done playing, because the only other option was to just start over, and who wants to do that? So
now, am I right in thinking that the key in this area is in a random location, like in a random box, or is it the same one every time? I just feel like it's in a different one from when I played it previously.
Yeah, so that is in a random box every time. I suppose technically based on where the key is, all the others will be in a certain order as well.
Okay.
So I guess technically, if you really wanted to, like, if you wanted to get the exact speed run strategy, then you could just figure out what all those patterns are, and that way you could just bomb one, and based on what's in it, that would tell you where the key is. That's a lot of work.
I can imagine it is a lot of work, but it's all in your head, man. I'm sure you're not going to forget it anytime soon, right?
I actually have no idea.
Okay, there we go.
Just search for it every time. I'm just saying someone could do it, but I don't know. But yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
Walls a lot.
Yeah. No, that's it happens. It happens.
I did put in something to try and stop them from getting too stuck in the walls. Now when they see a wall right in front of them, they'll try and stop, but it doesn't always work.
Hey, this is a one-man development. All elements, all design, all characters. It's incredible, man. I really respect this whole project. It's really cool. It's kind of what Dreams is all about, in a way. Even the fact that you didn't necessarily plan it to begin with, you were messing around in sculpt mode, and then you thought, hey, this is a bit like a rabbit. It's really cool, man. It's really cool.
And that's why his face really is one of the worst models in the game. Which is not ideal for your main character to be the ugliest thing in the game.
Here we go. So let's go through this now. Unless I've missed something obvious. I don't think I have, though. I don't think I necessarily have.
I'm trying to think.
I'm happy to miss out on prize bubbles. I just don't want to miss any challenges.
Well, one of the challenges is to get all the prize bubbles. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then also, I suppose I missed one with the yeah, so no, that's fine. I was going to say something else, but it's fine. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
But like I said, when you go to the main menu and you're on the scene select, it'll tell you how many prizes remain in each area. So that way, if you ever did want to get those last one or two, then it's not painful to get them. I wanted it to be, and so you just passed one as well.
Okay.
Probably the hardest one to get is in the beginning of this section.
Let's go back. Let's try and get it. You've got me intrigued now. I feel like I can see where it probably is. Oh, yeah, there we go. I can see why it's hard to get as well. You just need to time that jump perfect, don't you?
Yeah,
and have some momentum.
Yeah, those bridges get blown by the wind, so if you can time it where you wait for that to happen, then you'll get that extra push you need to get up there. What was I saying before that?
Hey chat, what was he saying before that?
Yeah, help me out. I know I was about to say something, but
because I'm sorry that I've completely zoned out about it as well, man. Long day. Trying to get all the prize bubbles here as well, so.
Well, it's much later for you. It's in the middle of the day for me, so.
Of course, yeah. I mean, are you having a nice day? Like, is it decent weather and stuff there at the moment, or?
Yeah, I think I mentioned the other day I had to go out and save our garden veggies. We had to go cover everything up because it decided to. It was like 100 degrees one day, and then it like snowed the next day. So we had to
That's mad.
go
yeah.
stop everything from dying. We got some beautiful pumpkins that were growing to make pies, and didn't want those today.
Of course, it's getting to that season, isn't it? The whole pumpkin season, yeah. Makes me wonder what you could do with a Hops Halloween game. A little twist on it all.
I've thought it was something fun about Dreams is that since you can kind of, update things at your leisure, I thought it might be fun to just give him like a little pumpkin head or something on Halloween, or for a couple weeks around Halloween, just for the fun of it.
Yeah, see if anyone. Yeah, that would be really cool. Even if it's just the pumpkin that you carve for Media Molecule or whatever, just shove it on his head. Like, yeah.
This swirl is one of my favorite animations. It's so simple, but I just love how much it. I just love the way that looks.
Oh, it is beautiful. It really is beautiful. I mean, now that I'm staring at it, it's kind of mesmerized me a bit. So I can totally see why it's your favorite, man. It's beautiful. Yeah.
And again, that was one of those just happy accidents. I just drew a swirl and went, oh, that's actually pretty good.
And so, yeah, just all experimentation, basically, right? Just all, yeah, seeing what works.
Yeah.
Okay, now, yes. Here we go. I remember this boss fight. There we go.
So this boss fight, it's one of those that I don't think people always expect the mechanics, so sometimes people spend a lot of time not necessarily knowing what they're doing to damage him. Which is something I might have tried to make clearer, I guess, in some way, had I known then what I know now, but
hey, there's always part 2, right? Yeah, there's always part 2. I mean, yeah, I remember when I played this boss for the first time, I'm pretty sure I was saying that it reminds me of something that could be in a Zelda game, right?
Yeah,
because it's like a puzzle, ultimately. I mean, once you figure it out and you've got the technique, then it's fine. But it does remind me of a Zelda boss, and I mean that in the best way. It's not, it's its own unique thing. You've not taken, anything from that, but it's a compliment, man. And people talk about those bosses being the best bosses, or some of the best bosses anyway. And you've definitely got that technique down, so great job there, well done.
I think the inspiration for this boss comes from a lot of like World of Warcraft bosses will have like ads that you have to kite and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to do that, like something that you had to kite them into it, and then I liked the splitting into smaller ones, which kind of ends up giving it sort of this weird balance. Like when there's just the one big one, the bigger they are, the further they can jump. So that first one can just jump right to you.
And I suppose it can jump right over the water as well, potentially. I don't know.
Honestly, it's possible, but he generally, because he's so big, he generally gets hit by one of them.
Cool.
But the behind the scenes on this one, there's actually that Firefly, he's got just more of those invisible blocks attached to pistons that has a tag on it, and he's just following that around, and he just every so often lays down a ice patch, and he can only put 4 out at a time. I didn't want the room potentially just getting filled with them. Looks like Cobra's on that first section, and asking if those platforms that crumble into the water, if you only get one shot at that, and yes, that is. I did want to have certain things that were one shot. But that was another thing that I learned something about watching streamers. When you go to that section nowadays, when you get close to it, it'll zoom out and do a little cutscene and show you a pill bug going onto one of those platforms, and the platform goes down. And that's because someone pointed out, hey, like, since we haven't like experienced this, you know, we haven't seen this type of platform yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have no idea it's coming, so like no one's gonna get that the first time. And I realized, oh yeah, you're right. Let's put in some way of trying to, you know, foreshadow what's gonna happen here. But still leave it like a one-shot thing.
No, it's really good. I mean, again, it's the advent of the modern technology where you can just watch a stranger play your game. Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. Here we go. We're talking to Farmer Smith again.
You want that sense of accomplishment that comes with being the best at something really, really specific? And here's how you do that. Your score is based on 4 things: the amount of prize budgets collected, completed challenges, time spent, and lives used. Now, don't worry. Once you've collected a prize budget or completed a challenge, you'll never have to do it again. Also, your score will always use your best words. That means if you spent a lot of time finding all those hidden secrets this time, you can always replay the level to get a better time, or to get that elusive 0 death swing. True scoreboard domination will require multiple playthroughs, which means one thing. That's right, replay value.
Hell yeah, replay value. That's what it's all about. I'm just curious, is this character based on anyone you know? Or is it just a bit of a joke again? Or, you know?
No, so that character, that was the first face that I sculpted. I made that following along with the Sculpt a Bust masterclass.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I was pretty happy that I was just happy to make a face at all. And I was like, well, I got a face. I'm very I try not to throw away the scraps. I'm like, if I have something, I'm going to use it. And so I made him a farmer and gave him when I do his voice, I'm just doing my best Dr. Phil impression, which it's not a great impression, but it's an impression.
It's good voice, man. It's different from your regular voice. So, I mean, yeah, I wonder if you'd be interested in doing voice acting if you were available for people to approach about that sort of thing. I don't know, is that something you'd be up for, or do you not consider yourself sort of, I don't know.
I think both. I don't consider myself.
Yeah, okay. But you would be up for it, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'd be up for it if someone really wanted that. But we've talked about this in the past, like that it's weird because like everything I do has elements of my voice in it. You know, in my life, I do music and I do these voices in the game and whatnot, and I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah,
I never think it sounds as good as people tell me they think it sounds. So I'll take the compliments and I appreciate it, and I personally have a hard time believing it.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, it's probably better to be that way, right? It's better to, I don't know, like you have to accept the compliments, but at the same time it's better not to be too much in love with yourself, right?
Yeah. It's taken me a long time to even get to that point of being able to accept compliments, honestly. I've always been real hard on myself and the things that I make, and yeah, you can jump on them too.
No, I'm just checking for secrets, man. Just checking for secrets.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a bad place for one, actually. Like I said, as far as future Hops plans goes, I had initially planned just Hops itself to be an even bigger project than it is. I wanted to release level 1 and then be careful over there. I wanted to make level 1, release that, and then at some point... Oh, so you're... Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The lag of the stream lag made it where I couldn't save you there.
No, that's okay. And I saw that I missed a prize bubble as well up at the top of that, but that's fine. That's fine. I mean...
Yeah, because that bridge... You can't get across that bridge. There's an invisible wall, and... Are you stuck? Or you just
no, sorry, I'm not stuck. I was just waiting. I was just like, yeah. I was just waiting for the right moment to jump down.
But yeah, so I was going to make level 2 and level 3, and I've realized just the way people play Dreams. First off, obviously people play Dreams not necessarily always expect them to sit down for an hour and work on the same thing. So initially I didn't even have a scene select. I intended it to just be you play through the whole level and that's it. Like you don't go skip to anything and realize that's not how people play Dreams. They want to be able to like go straight to scene 3 and start off where they they don't want to have to take that time. So I added some of that in, and I took out references to level 2 and stuff coming soon, and made this more just standalone. So in the future, if I ever make a Hops 2, it will essentially be what would have been level 2 here. But it'll just be its own standalone dream at that point.
No, that makes sense, because very few people in Dreams even check for updates, right? Like, they look for new dreams,
Exactly.
but they don't look for updated dreams. So, no, that makes perfect sense, man.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about how people play Dreams and just how the game shows people things and all of that throughout this process. So
Now, here we go. I'm going to talk to Farmer Smith again about the gauntlet, I presume. Here we go.
Brave enough to step through this gate for your next challenge. Once inside, a gauntlet of 10 waves of enemies will begin. But don't worry, you should know how to easily dispatch them all. After all, you wouldn't have been skipping all of the enemies you've encountered, right? Not after Cutaia spent so much time working on them. No, of course not.
Little name drop for the creator there. Like, you wouldn't skip this after the creator spent so much time working on it, Cutaia. But yeah, it's really cool, man.
Unfortunately, people have, taken. It seems like they've taken the time to actually fight enemies and stuff. Wasn't sure how that would go or not.
Yeah, now the first time that I experienced this and the room all of a sudden turned into almost like the Matrix, it's like, whoa. Like, wasn't expecting that to happen, just with all the greens and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And it's a good little challenge.
My the one thing that I did have as far as like in my head of a storyline for Hops is that essentially, just like all the meta stuff earlier on, like that Hops is a video game character. Like that is his canon. So like this is kind of like, having the gauntlet do this, it's kind of like that insight to like, insight sounds so like pretentious, but it is that like little clue of like, oh yeah, like this is a video game character in a video game. Like there's nothing more deep than that.
Wow, it's good. I'm just wondering at what point, I mean, at the moment, is Hops aware that he is a video game character? Or is this an awakening that he's still to have? Because I know that the farmer keeps telling him, but obviously Hops doesn't have a voice yet, right?
Exactly.
And possibly
He's
he
the
never
silent
will.
Protagonist.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect, yeah.
I did have like an inkling that perhaps like towards the later, like if I had a end of the game, that towards the later levels there would be like, kind of sections that would start like where the facade of things would start breaking apart, and he'd start seeing some of the behind the scenes of like like video game glitches and stuff like that. I thought that might be fun to play around with like towards the end of the game.
So keep our eyes peeled for that coming in like Hops 5 or Hops 6 or something like that. Yeah,
something like that, because because I pretty much that's just like a little inkling in my head of what I could do eventually. But as far as future planning, I do have some ideas for 2, and like what the settings will be there.
That's cool.
I'm starting to work on. I do a lot of like writing on paper, like before I even touch something now. So I've got ideas for like what kind of challenges I might start throwing in there. I definitely liked the idea of having little mini games and having the race here in this one, and I definitely want to do more stuff like that.
No, I think
Just
there's
little optional things where you go completely outside the realm of platforming and just do something different and fun.
Oh, it's really cool. I mean, I worry that I'm not going to complete this gauntlet since I'm already down to 1 health, only on wave 3. But
Well, you'll get a heart will appear in the next one.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, him, if you can aim him towards the wall, that lets him stop there. Yeah, get the center of the room, you'll get a heart there. These guys are technically easy to not die to because you just stay away and carrot them.
There we go. Yep, wave 5. Oh, of course. See, I've never made it this far before. This is actually new for me, this level of the gauntlet. So this is exciting.
So this wave, those bees,
They're infinite, I'm guessing, right? And then
people will have to figure out that, well, you can't really kill them, so you just gotta get the birds and then move on. Use audio strategy and just go clap crazy here.
Okay, of course, clap crazy.
Then you'll get another heart there on the next one.
There we
We'll
go.
get you through this.
I love that term, clap crazy. That's good, man. That's good. Oh, yeah. There's the heart. Let's go get the heart. There we go. Now, did picking up that heart add more time to the clock? Like, did I get punished for that? Yeah. That's good, though. That's good.
Just for getting through it, I wanted people to have some hearts appear so that it's possible to get hurt a little more, just to get through it, just to learn it and whatnot. But when you want to get that best time on the scoreboards, this is another one that goes to scoreboards.
See, I really respect that. Just the way that, you do reward a skilled player for actually getting through it. I mean, it's great, man. It's great. I really appreciate the sort of the old school challenge vibe there, but then also it's got the modern day aspect of, easy enough that the player can complete it, but rewarding enough that if you do it with skill, then you will be rewarded. Sorry, I know my words are all coming out a bit funny tonight. But it's, hopefully it's fine, man. Hopefully it's fine.
Yeah, it's great. I approached it with that in mind. I didn't want, like, one of the things that personally can just make me turn someone's dream off is when I start the dream and I get through a particularly difficult platforming section, or something along, just something difficult. And then I die, and it sends me right back to the beginning. And I, I've been working for the last 5 minutes trying to get. Oh, you're almost done.
Oh no, I'm amazed. I didn't think I'd get this far in the gauntlet.
But yeah, that's something that once that happens, I get so frustrated that I don't even want to try again. So I put just tons of, there's checkpoints more than just the carrot ones. There's a lot of checkpoints in this, in areas that you are forced to go through.
Beautiful. Challenge completed. Beautiful. I'm really quite proud of myself for that one. There are probably people watching this thinking, oh my god, he done terribly there, but I'm really quite proud of myself. So there we go.
I wanted it to be, the kind of thing that you can finish with enough tries. Same with the race. Like if you try it enough times and learn it enough, you can get it going.
No, that's cool. And now, let's talk to the farmer for, I believe, possibly one last time, right?
Yeah, he's the last one in the game.
Okay, here we go.
I am reading Cobra's comment and taking notes here, and I'll look into that bug you found there.
Cool. And yeah, I'm sorry that I've not been keeping up with the chat as I've been playing the game, but if you see anything, feel free to interject yourself, man.
When you finish the other 4 challenges, I'm going to offer you one final challenge. Unlocking the boss's heart. Look, I've love to let you give it a shot, but that bird is a real stickler about challenges. He was all like, Squawk, I'm not gonna waste my entire moveset on
I think I've unlocked hard mode
Squawk. But
for the
don't worry,
boss.
when you replay the level, you'll still have credit for all the challenges you've already done. So you can always come back and finish things.
So you'll be able to do the hard mode when you have all 4 of the other challenges. So right now you're missing the prize collector challenge just because there are still 3 prizes to get.
Of course, yeah. Sorry, I never
but like
noticed.
I said,
yeah.
But like I said, you can always get those 3 and then go straight to level 1-5, and that you'd be able to do the hard mode that way.
Okay, let's go then. Let's go. Let's get this guy.
So, I just to address what Cobra's talking about in the comments. So it sounds like he was trying to jump down to that prize bubble that's on the pillar down in the water, and looks like he had triggered some kind of camera pointer. I can look into that. It's definitely not intended to jump down to get that. As far as how you do get it, there are 2 pillars prior to that during the raft race, or during the raft ride. It's under the bird. Oh, under the bird. Oh, okay. So you were by the bird, and wanted to get that. So that one on the branch, you can just grab that before. And this is getting real specific for the viewers, but
no, it's okay.
The one on the branch, you can actually just grab that before you even do the ladybug boss. So that's a good. I'll look into that. I can probably fix where if you jump down, it doesn't mess up your camera there. That's good to know. Thank you for finding that. That's basically where I'm at with Hops now in development. Is I'm the kind of person that if someone tells me about a bug like a year from now, I'm probably still going to go in and fix it, because it drives me crazy knowing that there's a bug in there. I'm just so pleased that we didn't find any bugs while we were doing this thing.
Don't worry about it, man. Yeah, don't worry about it. Even if you had, I mean, it's it's Dreams. You're a one-man development crew, and you've made everything entirely yourself. So there's no shame in there being bugs or anything like that. I mean, you've done a fantastic job. So don't worry about it, man. Honestly, don't worry about it. I'm sure that everyone in the chat agrees with me as well. We've all tried making things in Dreams. We all know it's not easy. So yeah, man. Honestly, it's all good.
I like that one. But yeah, and then that raft one, there's 2 collectibles on the raft ride before that, and you gotta get each successive one, and they will raise platforms for you to get to that.
Yeah, I believe that we did cover that earlier on in this video, I believe. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I missed them in this playthrough, but we did cover it when we passed that section. But you were saying this boss, yeah?
Yeah, so this boss, another thing I'd do differently now is I would have... The bosses in their current form are a little inconsistent. Because the first one is a decent challenge, but it's also a pretty basic fight. It's just he's basically just randomly running around. He's got a bunch of tags around the room that he goes to, and when he reaches one, he picks a new one and runs towards it. So it's very basic AI. The second boss has a lot more mechanics. This boss, this is one of the bosses that I created. This is one of the things from the end of the level that I actually did create early on. I made him, I think, after I made the pill bug, honestly. Like, I wanted to make... I knew I wanted to have a boss that had, like, mechanics and... There's the photo.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised. Yeah, it says new best for 1 hour 18. Did you delete the scoreboard or something? Anyway, sorry, carry on with the boss, but...
So I did. That was causing um, things to ignore some of the scene times, and I figured since I was still early enough on, I could change the scoreboard around and have it be fair. But yeah, I didn't want there to be high scores that were impossible to beat, so unfortunately I did have to reset that. But yeah, so that boss, I was really proud of at the time, because he does that little frontal cone spike attack, and if I had to do it again, I probably would have just made his hard mode just his regular mode, because back when I designed him, I thought the hard mode was maybe a little too much. But now that he's at the end of 40 minutes of gameplay, I think people kind of have the controls by that point, and the hard mode probably isn't that hard, or isn't as hard as hard enough to put people off.
Well,
so
that's
I probably
the thing,
would have
though.
just made that the normal mode, and
I mean,
but
if you
again, at
make
this
him
point,
at the start of development and then he gets put in at the end of the level, I suppose that's something that's just naturally going to happen, right? I suppose that's why you maybe now write things down before starting them or whatever, to try and plan it out better, perhaps. It's all a learning experience, dude. It's all learning experiences.
yeah, for sure. But it's a fun learning experience. It's been quite the journey. And I mean, I love figuring out all the logic and all that stuff. Like, it's like, to me, that's just like playing a puzzle game. It's like instead of the game telling you, here's a puzzle to figure out, like, you invent your own puzzle, and then you get to figure it out, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, yeah, I've heard people say, like, oh, Dreams, it's a kid's game or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But there is a real skill, like, I mean, making something in Dreams is just as challenging as completing, like, say the hardest level on the hardest first-person shooter on the hardest difficulty or whatever. Like, if you want to really make something that's really good, that takes a lot of skill. A lot of effort, a lot of skill, even just controller skills in terms of moving your controller around in edit mode and stuff. I mean, you know what I mean, right? Sculpt skill.
Oh, yeah.
There is a lot of finesse that goes into it.
Yeah, you progress even just in terms of, like, figuring out better ways to just move your controller to place things in the exact way you want them to be. Like.
Sorry, just sort of skipping through the soundtrack here. Again, I think, there's a lot to be said for the fact that you've done everything yourself, man. It's really good. Like, it's really good. It's really impressive. Really, really respect it. And, like, I'm sure everyone else does as well. Everyone here in the chat. It's incredible.
Well, I appreciate it very much. It's nice to hear. I definitely spent a lot of time working on it, so it's always nice to get some validation that it was worth it and turned out good, and that people like it as much as I do.
I mean, do you have a favourite song from the soundtrack? What's your personal favourite, if you have one? I suppose you love them all, but do you have a favourite?
I mean, I'm not. Since I got the stream muted, so I don't double up on you. I'm not hearing which parts you're listening to, but I see. Like the credit song. I that one actually is just that's one of my songs that I'm working on out in the real world that I just decided to try and recreate in Dreams. And I'm partial to that one just because, like, when I hear it, I hear the lyrics and stuff too. So, but otherwise, just as far as like standard BGM kind of stuff, I like the feel of the Cardinal Boss's theme song as that one goes along. I felt like that one kind of did some interesting things here and there.
No, yeah, we're on it now. It's definitely got a nice beat to it. You see, the thing is, right, oftentimes, the best video game music and the best film music, etc., is music that you almost don't necessarily notice, because you're just, you know, it fits into the scene so perfectly that you're not necessarily thinking about it as the viewer. And listening to these songs now on the soundtrack, they are really good, but I don't recognise them from having just played through the game, which is a compliment to them and how they fitted in, you know. I believe it's a compliment anyway.
That's good.
Other people might have different views, but
I tried to put enough of, like, each one of the main songs that goes for a decent amount of time. Like, I'll generally make the song once, and then I'll just copy that over just to make a second loop that does enough different things to not go too crazy away from what it was doing before, but just to hopefully make you every now and then hear something new that keeps it interesting.
Oh, that's definitely cool. I'm tempted to go and look at this walkthrough page. Because I'm fascinated
you can see
by
which
that,
ones
man.
you missed.
Yeah.
Oh, is it time to cheat now? All right, let's get
Yeah, time to cheat now.
Prize Bubble 1 is kind of a gimmick, but there it is.
See, I think this is amazing that you made a walkthrough.
Prize Bubble 2 can be found hidden in this lovely little pumpkin.
This is something I've never seen in any other Dream,
Prize Bubble 3
and
up on this pillar.
you've put a lot of work into this
Cross
walkthrough, man.
though.
It's really cool.
Use these
And it was actually surprisingly easy to make.
Hmm. I suppose, yeah, it's just a timeline with a camera and then
Yeah.
dialogue, isn't it?
Yeah, just delete all the... So I did do, you'll notice here, after this 5th prize bubble, it goes straight to the 6th one. So I actually copied the area from level 2 over to here so that I could get this into as few scenes as possible as well. And it fit all of that. So as long as you get rid of all your moving stuff, and anything that you don't necessarily see, then you can fit a lot of walkthrough in just one scene.
That's amazing. Just the fact that you made this walkthrough, honestly, like, I hope I don't sound too patronising. It's just, I can't believe that someone thought to do this, because I've not seen it before in any other Dream, and I've played a lot of Dreams. It is fantastic, man. It is. It's a great little idea, and it's really well executed, so there we go.
Oh, thank you. In some sense, it's almost selfish, because it's like, you're like, oh, well, I made these things. I want people to play them.
Yeah, I suppose.
Try and get them. You know, and just add in that ability to let people just get it and not have to give up out of frustration or anything. Initially my plan was just to make a video walkthrough on YouTube and just put a little notice on there, oh, search this on YouTube, and then I realized, you know, I could probably just do this in the game, and I think it turned out for the better doing it that way.
Yeah, almost definitely, almost definitely. I even like the stats screen. Again, it sounds simple to say, oh, I like the stats screen, but most streams don't have a stats screen, right? It's you didn't have to do this, but you added it in, and it's very cool, and it's a nice indicator of how a player's done. It's wonderful, really.
Yeah, like I was watching someone at one point playing through some Dream on a stream, and they were on the main menu, and they clicked something and it said coming soon, and they were like, oh, well, yeah, of course. And that was kind of like the moment where I was like, I'm going to make sure that I don't do that. I sat out and I was like, okay, here's the things I want on a menu, and made sure that I like followed through and got them put in and all that, because I love that. I love having the idea of even just from the start, the menu, like I wanted it to feel like a real game, and from start to finish, and that was really just what was in the back of my head the whole time I was making it. It was just that effect. Make it seem like a full game that isn't missing anything, even if it is, short. It's can finish everything in like an hour or so, like collect everything and whatnot, and go for your speedrun scores and get a little bit more out of that. But it's not like a 60-hour AAA game, but it still to me feels complete. I hope people feel the same.
Oh, it definitely feels complete to me. I mean, I know this is only Hops 1, right? But it feels complete. It's and that's not just because it's split up into 5 sections. It's like a proper world, a proper experience. It's really cool. It's really cool. Now I'm just wondering, is there anything else you've made in Dreams beyond Hops that's I mean, I imagine there must be, right?
Well, that was it. Like, when I released Hops, it was literally the only thing I had made.
Just Hops and all of its corresponding elements. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, someone had sent me like a community kind of thing. It was someone waiting in an elevator. They had sent me that early. They had sent me that earlier on, and I was like, okay, I'll remix this and make my own for your collection. And I had Hops assets, so I threw Hops and the bird and stuff in there. And I think that's just called waiting in an elevator with Hops and friends, maybe.
Okay, that's fine. Typing this in. Yeah, I'm afraid it's not coming up, but we'll maybe find it. Here we go.
I might have archived it at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, hey, it happens, man. It happens.
I thought that, but since then, because I did decide that I want to take a little break from Hops. Just to let it let people find it, hopefully. And there's my head.
Yeah, I mean, hello. How you doing?
So yeah, I started working on that head, and then here I can send you. Tell you what, I'll send you the thing that I'm currently working on. Is something that I hope will be a shorter process. Trying to type your name here. So this is the project that I'm working on right this moment as like a little filler project between Hops 1 and 2.
That's fine. Just getting to my notifications.
Should have it now.
Come up with this. Level up for playing Hops. There we go. Wonderful. All
right.
Oh yes, I saw you working on this. Yeah. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. So right now there's hardly anything there. Once you get in there, it's literally just some test enemies just to get to get the logic of the game working. But this is essentially there's a game called Ikaruga that Treasure made a long time ago that I absolutely loved, and it was a shooter that used this effect. Except in their game, it was just 2 colors. You switched between black and white. But yeah, so you can soak up the color that you are, and that'll build up your energy, and you can use the R2 or L2 buttons once you build up energy to release a attack that will...
There we go, that's cool, yeah.
But so they made it very, like, it was almost like a puzzle in and of itself, like, because you'll see on the left there, you're trying to build up streaks of 3 kills of the same color. And every time you kill 3 of the same color thing, then you'll get a higher streak, and that helps increase your score. But
I imagine it's a difficult thing to design. Like, I imagine it's difficult to design. I mean, this definitely seems cool.
This has been like the cursed project so far, because everything I do like has been not working, and I can't figure out why. And then there's been a couple times I've just like deleted it and just done it again the same, as far as I know, the same way, and then suddenly it works. So I don't know why, but it's been giving me a lot of headaches. But
that must be frustrating. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that must be super frustrating actually. If you're trying something and it doesn't work, then you try it again and it does work. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, so this has been an interesting thing, just kind of taking something that, exists in a very specific fashion. Like this is, everything in this game, from the 3 kill streaks to the soaking, and obviously, like if you're red, you'll do more damage to blue and yellow things, and less damage to things that are red, for example. but so there's ways to once I actually start putting enemies in, that'll be the challenge. There is placing the enemies in such a way that there's a kind of a puzzly way to there is a right way to do it, but you can also just try and stay alive.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Because that's how Ikaruga was. It was like if you knew what you were doing, and if you like memorized like here's how these things come, here's how these like you could like play it in a way that was just so beautiful that it looked like magic. Like I encouraged people to just go look up like even YouTube videos of just people doing high score runs of Ikaruga. And it's Ikaruga, but it's like if you see how people played that game, it's like it's art just watching people play it. So I was gonna try and make something that can hopefully be sort of a spiritual successor to that.
No, that's definitely cool. Very exciting. Yeah, I'm really excited to play that full thing. I'm a big fan of these sorts of shooting games. So, and I have played the original Ikaruga. So, so yeah, that's very cool, man.
Yeah, it's my favorite shooter of all time. It's such a cool game.
Yeah, the best shooters are the ones that that have puzzles sort of aspects to them, where it's like it's fun just to run around and shoot stuff, but at the same time there is a certain order that you want to do things in, you know. 100%, definitely. So that's definitely really cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on for right now, and when I either get that done or realize I'm not good enough to make it.
Well, come on, man. You're definitely good enough to make it. It's just effort, though, isn't it? It's just the required effort. Just got to stay motivated.
I've already had to change certain ways that things are working in it, because at first I had a lot of zones. Like every enemy had a zone attached to it, and then I was running into, apparently that's a warning you can reach in Dreams, is too many zones. So I had to rethink how I was doing things. So but yeah, every little thing you do in Dreams, you find new things that can help you out in the future.
No, it's amazing. It really is amazing. And yeah, look, thank you for being a dreamer, man. I know that sounds like a silly thing to say, because you went out and you bought a video game / piece of software, and it's like, thank you for buying this. I mean, I don't profit from you buying Dreams, but I just think it's wonderful, man. I think I think people should be thanked for making these things. I really do. It's you know, they're passion projects at the end of the day, and it's incredible that you've done it. I think it is anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Not like in the, no, it's weird to say that because I feel like, yeah, I agree, I should be thanked. No, I agree that like I agree that like some people have just gone out of their way to just make amazing things that yeah, especially when like the most interesting thing I think about Dreams is that when you do get into, like, I know there's people who played, you see streamers who are playing Dreams and they haven't even unlocked like
dream shaping or like
main,
notifications. Yeah,
they buy it and they literally just do the dream surfing, and they enjoy it, and that's awesome. But like when you do get into that stuff and you see how much work it takes even to just do some of the smallest things sometimes, like then you go in and play some of these amazing things that people have made, it gives you just even more of an appreciation for what they've created. And yeah, I agree, like we can all be thankful for a lot of the stuff that has come out of Dreams, I think.
Yeah, and hopefully it's just going to keep growing and keep sort of improving and keep getting better. Hopefully, anyway. I suppose we don't know.
I hope so.
Yeah. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat now to see if there's any sort of questions I've been missing or anything. So Sorry about this, man. Just one moment. I've not been looking at the chat for most of this as I've just been playing. I'm just trying to catch up. But no, it seems like we're kind of caught up, man. See, this is a bit awkward, right? Because I would love to sit and chat to you for like even hours more about not just dreams, but about like everything, about life, about Colorado, about you know, just the world and everything, man. But my brain is not at it today, man. My brain is not at the races. It's just like, yeah, there are various reasons for that, which I won't go into right now, man. But I don't know, man.
You know, I'm always around, so you know, even just if I'm in your chat at any time and you just want to talk about whatever, I'm always available for it.
Hey, if you're ever up for that, man, if you're game, I'm totally, you know, always up for a chat with the developers of Dreams. I mean, I'm new to this, but I think it is interesting to sort of invite people on and give them a little platform to talk about stuff. I think that a lot of this stuff does need more exposure, things like hops. Like, I hope that Media Molecule spot hops. Like, I'm not saying, you know, oh yeah, it's going to be an MM pick, but I just hope that someone at Media Molecule plays it and appreciates it. Right? Yeah. Obviously,
I've sent tweets over to them, like hoping that they'll at least check it out. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, you know, it's one of those things. Like I think that's always, I think that's been the hardest part for me, is just like the promotion aspect of it. Because like when you do spend so much time making something, you do want, obviously, you want people to play it. Oh yeah, the cheaters board. So
yeah, it says I'm a cheater, man. Is this because I went through the tunnel, or what's this about?
Yeah, no. So the cheaters board, when you finish watching the walkthrough, it adds you to that. And it just gives you 100 points, and that's it. It's just a bit of fun. I just thought it'd be funny to throw that in there. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Someone mentioned. Someone was like, "That seems a bit harsh," and I was like, "Well, it's just for fun. I didn't think anyone would like get mad or anything." Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I hope people don't get mad about it or anything.
I'm fine.
It doesn't mean anything.
I mean, now that the creator has said it's all just a bit of fun, I'm happy to be on the cheaters scoreboard, and I'm happy to be joint first, but also the third cheater. You know what I mean? No one's ever going to overtake me. Like, I'm number 3 now.
Everyone gets to be first.
Mm.
We're all in it together.
And I'm just looking at this turtle race scoreboard. Like, yeah, SNRG driven, like 0.1 of a second ahead of you, man. 0.1.
I know, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but like I had a tough time. I had a tough time beating Dennis. I was so excited when I beat him.
And he's at the top of so many scoreboards as well that you would have been like, yes, I've done it, I beat the master. But yeah,
I know I was, but then SNRG came in and just it was like yeah, like the next day, right? Yeah, the next day there. Mm-hmm. It took me like 4 days to beat Dennis, to get back on top of my own scoreboard. And then 1 day later, just taken right down again.
Mm-hmm. I wish there were more people on these scoreboards, you know, I really do. I appreciate that you did have to delete the scoreboard, and so obviously that's why there's less people, but yeah, I hope that there are more people on the scoreboard over time. It really deserves it, man.
Well, technically, really, like anyone who got their score deleted, it should technically still be there, I think. Like,
mm-hmm.
In terms
if they load
of,
the game up, then yeah, the stat screen.
If they load it up and finish it again, then like it will still, you know, that was my goal with the scoreboard, was like, now that it's hopefully, God willing, bug free. I think it is now, but that was my goal with the scoreboard, was that you never go down in score. Mm-hmm. Like, all you can do is get better. Like it always uses your best. So whatever your best time was, your lowest deaths, once you've collected everything, like, it'll never go down. Like, you don't have to collect things every time you go through. Once you have it, you're done. You can move on and start thinking about doing a speed run if you want or something. But
No, it's quality. I just really hope more people play it, right? 61 thumbs up. And look, played by 85 people and 61 thumbs up. That's a really good ratio, man. Like, as far as I'm concerned, that's a really good ratio. It just needs to
Yeah,
get into
that's
more people's hands. At the end of the day, it somehow needs a bit more publicity. But I don't know, man. I don't know how to, you know. It's the great mystery of Dreams, isn't it? How do you make people
it
play your
is.
stuff?
I always
Yeah.
wondered if I screwed up by because I essentially, I mean, if you go to see when it was uploaded in like April or something, because
Oh, okay.
I
Mhm.
I basically in my mind at the time, yeah, there's all my bug fixes.
Mhm. Mhm.
You're gonna be scrolling for a while.
Yeah. Oh, let's just
Good
let's
thing.
just keep scrolling. Here we go. Here we go.
But yeah, in my mind, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of neat. You can sort of develop it in the public eye, and like people can." Turns out that's not really how it works. Like people don't, you know,
Mhm.
they don't like follow something as it's being developed. So I would not have done it that way. God, that is a lot of updates.
It is a lot of updates. Yeah, to the 24th of April. So there we go. The first version. Shall I
Oh,
load
look at
up this
that.
first version and just see
Oh
what
wow,
it
I didn't
looks
even think
like?
about that. That you can do that.
Yeah, you can do that. Which is
Well,
interesting
now
because
I'm
some people might not like it, but you know, some creators
actually
might not
now I
like
think.
the
Oh,
player
look at
doing
that
that.
color
But yeah,
grading.
it's so different.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so bland and
Mhm. See, this must be bringing back memories for you.
oh wow. And
Yeah.
look at that, because so there, yeah. Early on, I was gonna make a those things up in the sky there in front of you.
Mhm.
Uh, that was gonna be like a little raft kind of trip that would go around in a circle and would have things going on.
Mhm.
But I couldn't figure out at that time. I wasn't good at cameras, so I couldn't figure out how to make it where no matter which raft you got on, the camera would work right. So
Okay. Yeah.
I wanted it to be kind of a fixed camera sort of thing.
Mhm.
This is this is actually really interesting. I
I know it
didn't
is, isn't
realize that
it?
you could do this.
Yeah, I never thought I never thought of doing this. It's just kind of spur of the moment, but yeah, you can do this. And let that be a warning to everyone about uploading old versions, because yeah, people can access them. But this is very cool, man. This is very cool. Yeah, force clap kills some enemies too. There we go. Force clap. At what point did it stop being called the force clap? Like,
I think it is now again.
oh,
I
it's
think it's
okay.
that.
There we go. Okay, okay, cool.
Oh yeah, see, Hops didn't have a death animation there yet.
Mhm.
He just died. Oh, and apparently my looks like my checkpoint sent you in the wrong direction there.
Yeah. See, you've gotten better over time, man. You've learned stuff and you've gotten better, and it's all gonna get
Yeah,
even
there's
better.
no spiders yet.
Mhm. Yeah, it's amazing taking this sort of really early look at it. And of course, the backward secret isn't there yet, like when you go back the way. And yeah, there we go. We're at the end
And
of
it's funny
Hops
because
now.
you can
Oh,
see we
wow.
basically had like all of scene one
Mhm.
already there. Like scene one doesn't is I think I had to make it a little bigger to put in that section where you have the pillar challenge and
Mhm. Mhm.
God, this is so weird to see after all this time.
I'm
This
sorry,
is
man. I
fun.
didn't mean to make you
No,
so.
it's
You know, yeah.
no, it's fun. I actually like it's kind of neat
Mhm.
to see how far it has come.
Yeah, because I bet even you have not seen this for such a long time.
No, I really haven't. But yeah, so because of that, I wasn't sure if like I screwed up the algorithms or anything. You know, like I don't know what makes the game show people things, but I'm kind of starting to get the suspicion that because it thinks this came out in April,
Mhm.
that it doesn't think it's like new and worth it. Maybe.
Well, I don't know. I'm not an expert on how the Dreams algorithms work.
Yeah,
But as long as
just a
people
theory.
haven't played it, then it can still pop up in their recommended list and stuff, you know? because it's only been played by 91 people. I know there's a lot of things ahead of it in the queue that have come out since April, but yeah, I think there is the potential for this to be played by a lot more people. It can definitely come up in the recommendations. In fact, look, if we go to similar creations, it comes up with Pollen. You'll see this on screen in a moment, man.
Yeah.
Isn't that lovely? Does that not fill your heart a little? Like, similar creations, Pollen.
It's funny.
There
I think
we go.
we actually released our games both on the same day.
Okay, so there we go.
Yeah, the day that I like see, and that's when he released his on that day, I think. But he went to when I went to Reddit to tell people about my game, I was like, oh, cool. There's this other game like releasing that's like a big finished game world as well. So like it was both the same day that we put ours out. So.
Well, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that, Pollen's been getting the attention, but, it's all
like
good.
my secret jealous arch enemy.
Yeah.
I think Trix was around earlier. But yeah, so I'm trying. I've put in the work. I think I've put in as much work as I'm comfortable putting in without like feeling like I'm just like I already feel like I'm just annoying people. Like I go into various streams and I'm like, hey, if you're playing people's games, I got one, you can play it. But at the same time, I'm like, I feel bad just because. And I don't know why. I know people watch people play games over and over again on Twitch, like. So I assume that people aren't annoyed, but in my mind, I just feel like I'm annoying people.
Yeah, you're definitely not annoying people. I mean, you're not going into their stream, and yeah, Trix is still here, and yeah, look, they love you at Team Pollen. I mean, there we go, man. Like, yeah, that's a nice message. But look, it's not annoying. You shouldn't worry about that sort of thing. I mean, we're on Twitch to play games at the end of the day. As long as you're not going into people's streams and saying, oh, please play this, please play this, please play this, and then just, forcing them to play it or whatever. As long as you're doing it respectfully.
The only time I do that is when I send you Home Alone Guinea Pig.
Yeah. Which I am more than happy to take, by the way. I deserve that, so it's fine. It's fine. But talking of, like... Yeah, here's the thing, right? I mean, Hops, it's got 60 odd thumbs up from 90 odd plays. I don't like calling out things, okay? But Home Alone Guinea Pig has nearly 1,000 thumbs up. Now, clearly that's because it gets sent to a lot of people, right? And you've obviously not sent Hops around. How does that make you feel, man? I don't know.
Yeah. I did one round of just random sharing. I went through and just. I think that's actually how you got it on your play later initially, because I think the first time I mentioned it in the stream, you were like, "Oh yeah, I've already got it on my play later," and I think you'd probably added it from me sharing it with you. But yeah, I did that one round, and I went through and like just shared for like half an hour, and then I felt like, well, I guess I'm probably done doing that because I start to feel like the sharing system in game isn't really good about telling you who you've shared to already.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so in some sense, I kind of it's not something I feel comfortable doing. Like to that extent, but I can kind of also understand why someone would, how that would happen. Because if he's sharing Home Alone Guinea Pig like to everyone on a regular basis, it's working, and I mean, it's getting people to see it, and sometimes people need to see something multiple times before they go, oh, you know what, I feel like I've seen this before. Maybe I will give it a try.
But at the same time,
I don't know if I can really.
Like, they might just be thumbing it up to think, okay, look, if I thumb it up, you'll stop sending it to me. And you don't want the fake thumbs up, you know what I mean? You only want You only want real thumbs up at the end of the day, right? Maybe? I
It's
don't know.
true.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess.
it's tough.
I
Some
guess
fake thumbs
sometimes a
up would
thumbs
be
up's a
nice.
thumbs up.
Yeah. Now, I think I've actually accidentally broken my progress by loading an older version. I'm not sure if you can see on the screen here, it's not letting me play anymore. I'm possibly going to have to
Really?
reset progress. I
What
think
happens
that's
if you go
me.
into the view map?
Yeah, let's see, let's see. Okay, well that seems to work actually, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, this seems to
Maybe,
work fine. There we go. Okay, we fixed
maybe
it.
once you've done that, it'll fix it.
But I
Well,
mean,
we
that's
gotta
fine. Yeah,
send
there we
that
go.
bug to Media Molecule.
So yeah, although I mean, I don't think it's a bug that'll affect that many people, let's face it, who goes through old versions of Dreams. There's not even enough time to go through the most recent version of most Dreams, so... but I'm really glad you made Hops, man. I really respect it. I really appreciate it. I think you're, fascinating character, man. I not only respect your Hops, but I respect your streams. And, I wish you all success, man. I really do.
Oh, well, the streaming is pretty new. It's tough. I mean, I respect all of you guys who come on to Twitch and are able to actually just stay entertaining for hours at a time, because I try, but it's a struggle.
Well, just be yourself, man. Just be
Yeah, I
yourself.
guess that's true.
But from everything I've seen of your streams, I mean, I'd thoroughly recommend, going and hanging out with you for a bit and checking out your development, and, I definitely recommend it. Just going to post another link in the chat for your there. There we go, don't worry, I'll also put out a tweet later on with a link to your Twitch, but don't worry about it. I mean, probably no one will click on it, and that's not your fault, it's just, that's just people not clicking on things on Twitter, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's not, don't worry about it.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate it regardless.
It's just, it blows my mind. And I'm just wondering, is there anything you would like to... Like, I'm sorry, right? Genuinely, I would happily talk to you for a lot longer. But it is after midnight, and I have had a very long day. I think we spoke about this briefly before we started speaking about Hops. Just about what a sort of crazy day it's been. And so if it's okay, I would like to maybe try and wrap things up a little, if you've got anything you'd like to get out before we wrap things up. And also the chat, if you have any questions, now is your chance to get them in finally before the end.
That's a good idea, that we can pay attention to them. But yeah, otherwise there's not a whole lot that I think I could think of that I'd add to it.
Is there anything you'd like to plug? I mean, obviously, do you want to, you're on Twitter, you're on Dreams, you're on Twitch, you've made Hops, it's a wonderful game, I hope it gets a lot more attention. I'll certainly be doing what I can. In fact, wait a minute, no, it's probably fine, doesn't matter. I was going to say these numbers have changed when I was looking at how many people it's been played by and thumbed up, but probably not, that's just me. It's been a long day. I'll cut that bit out. It's fine. Here we go. No, man, yeah, it's honestly amazing. And yeah, well, Putazuka's saying no questions. Trix says good game. And yeah, you will do it. Say great from hearing from other dreamers. That's Joey Cuts there, another of the Pollen developers. So they've got your back. Thank you very much for sharing Home Alone Guinea Pig with me.
You're welcome.
Don't worry about it, man. I will not give it a thumbs up right now on its quest to getting 1,000. But maybe at some other point I will have to. Maybe I'll have to.
But yeah, thank you, Trix and Joey. I mean, I know you guys know intimately what goes into making one of these things from scratch. Just one person, and so I very much appreciate the.
Well, look, I mean, we don't want to. You've got a family and stuff as well, man. It's incredible to make these things as a passion project while also looking after your family and keeping your family happy.
Yeah.
I know we've
I will
had
say,
Otti in the chat here being very supportive of you as well. It's, it sounds like you've got a good little scene there, man.
yeah, I will say that the current just world situation. I mean, we both work from home anyways.
Mhm.
In on our own schedules, so having things kind of slow down there with the current situations certainly allowed me to really throw myself more into that than maybe I might have been able to at other times in life. So some of that's just kind of
Mhm.
luck, the way things worked out.
Mhm. Definitely, definitely. I'm glad that some
I
good
guess
came of the situation
I guess
then, at
it's,
least.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say I guess maybe not lucky, but
Mhm. Yeah. At least
mm,
something good has happened, right? At least something good's happened. That's totally cool, man.
yeah, you gotta take the whatever good you can out of bad situations sometimes.
Hmm. Definitely, definitely. Um. Yeah, I'm just wondering what the best way to wrap this up is. My brain's not definitely not at the races today, as I keep saying. So, but yeah, I believe that's sort of it, right? If you've nothing else you'd like to sort of get out there or plug, although I would happily have you back anytime, if you ever did feel like you had something that you needed to say or whatever. But no,
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
just.
I don't know if I ever feel like I have anything I need to say, but
Mm.
uh, it's fun talking to you. And sure, you ever want to just ramble, chat, we can do it.
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, hopefully my brain will be more in gear on one of those days, man. Hopefully.
Well, I hope you get some good sleep for tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, me too. I mean, honestly,
Which,
I'm
by the
gonna
way,
be, yeah, straight to bed after this, man. But
which
yeah,
by the
carry
way,
on.
I don't know if you want to save this tidbit for when you're actually speaking tomorrow. But like, how did that come about? How did you even? I didn't know that we even knew that your guest tomorrow. Like, I didn't know
Mhm.
we had any means of contacting them.
Well, they're on Twitter. If you search for their name on Twitter, then they come up.
Oh, so you just looked around and
I
was
just
like,
looked
hey,
around and found them and then
want to
sent
do
them a
it?
message. And they said yes. So there we go. Yeah, it's as simple as that, man. It's really as simple as
I'm
that.
I'm looking forward to that because that's definitely been an enigma uh, for my entire time playing Dreams.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to talk too much about it beforehand because I
Yeah,
just want to see what happens. And what comes out of it. But it's
I'm
definitely going to be
excited.
interesting. Um. I mean, yeah. Look, for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, tomorrow night at 10 p.m. UK time, Toronto Mayor is coming on the show. So I really will need to get a good sleep because there's a lot of questions to be asked there.
There
um,
is.
there is. And hopefully we're
Oh,
going to have some fun with it as well. I'll be nice, and I'm sure they'll be nice, and hopefully the chat will be nice. And it'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting. That's all. It's
yeah, I will
always
definitely.
interesting.
I'll be in the chat room for that one for
Cool.
sure.
Awesome. Awesome. So it's still the afternoon for you, right? Pretty much. Is it afternoon or evening or?
Yeah, it's only like 5:20 here.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, well, look, man. I love hops. I really respect it. I really respect your work. I look forward to seeing whatever you produce in the future. And I wish you an enjoyable Friday evening, man. An enjoyable rest of the weekend.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much. You as well. I wish you some good sleep.
Thank you. Yeah. Definitely need it. Definitely need it. And yeah, thank you,
Sweet
man.
sweet dreams, and don't let the bed bugs bite and all that.
Mhm. Mhm. 100%.
I'm just gonna
Thank you
tuck you in
again.
here for the to end the chat.
I'd quite like to be tucked in by Afro Man for peace. I reckon they've got a delicate touch. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, you can't be Afro Man without a delicate touch, can you? I don't know though. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks again for having me, and this has been fun, and it was
Mhm.
I'm I hope it was illuminating in some way, in some sense.
No, I mean, it definitely was for me. Hopefully it was for the chat as well. Um, and yeah, it should be, man. It should be. And I'll try and pimp this out a little bit to get hops more love, man, because I think it deserves more love. So we'll see what happens, okay? We'll see what happens. But yeah,
Fingers crossed.
thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Okay. Bye. Bye. Here we go. I don't know. I don't know how to end these things. I'm just like, bye. I don't know.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Okay. And then cut, I suppose. I don't know. That's that cut. I mean, I say it's cut. It's not cut, but I can cut it there. So it's fine, man. It's fine. Let's just cut it at that bye. Like, if that's all right.
Yeah,
There
that's
we
fine.
go.
Ending
Cool.
things is the hardest.
It is, it is. I mean, look, this is the first time that we have ever spoken. You know what I mean? So it's just interesting. It's always nice meeting new people. Like, obviously, we had text chatted before, but, like, in chat rooms and stuff, but it's different when you're actually talking to someone. So yeah, that's very cool, man. It's
Yeah,
very cool.
it can be awkward for sure. Like, I you know, I'd spend my day just nervous, like, oh, I hope I do a good job for the interview.
Oh, look, I was the same, and I've not even slept, so I'm sure you're fine, man. I'm sure you're fine. I mean, you're the first American who I've interviewed, so in the past, everyone has been British, which is kind of, you know, it's just different because I understand the sort of British mentality a bit more. If that makes sense. I don't know. Did that make sense? We're just, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's
You
different,
know,
that's all.
no, I totally get you. I mean, like I've mentioned you in the past, we've like been over there and we've like road tripped around the UK, so we like drove all around up there and presumably got to see a little more of the culture than just, you know, say spending the whole time in London or something like that. But so we got to meet all kinds of people out there, and
Yeah, I
it's
remember.
funny when you're over there, like you can tell the Americans.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's so strange. Like I never realized how loud we are until we went over there. Like the second you hear a voice carrying over everything else, you're like, oh, there's the Americans.
Yeah. It blows my mind. Like, one time I'm sure I mentioned, like, Edinburgh Botanic Gardens, and then all of a sudden you were like, oh, that's amazing, I've been there, or something along those lines. And it's like, whoa, Cutaia's been to Edinburgh. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
it's
a good time
crazy,
over there.
man.
We went up to the Old Man Store and did some hiking up there over in the Isle of Skye and stuff, and it was a good time. I can't wait to one day be able to actually, you know, hopefully countries will let us in again one day.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it's a crazy time, man. It really is a crazy time. But I'm wishing you all the best, and you know, I'm wishing the rest of the world all the best as well. But I wish you all the best, man. I wish you all the best. So I really mean it.
Well, thank you. I'm just going to address the comments for a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Cobra, thank you so much. At first I thought you meant that you did the gauntlet in 1 minute and 10 seconds, and I was like, what? There's no way I can beat that. But I see now that you meant the game, so I appreciate you playing through the whole thing as well. It really means a lot to me, like seeing those scores go up on the, you know, that tells me that someone actually made it through the whole game and played it, because I know it's a bit of a, you know, to get all the way through it, it's a long time. I say 30 minutes on the screen now, but I'm starting to think that the first time around it might actually be more than that.
Well, it just depends how much someone explores, right?
Yeah.
There we go. There's Eddie. There's Eddie on the scoreboard. I'm looking at the scoreboard now. I see you, Eddie. Total best score 1. Well done, son. Well done.
Yeah. One is just the minimum, because when it the way the scoring system is set up is like, I don't know, it's weird. It's just a
No,
bunch of
that's cool.
math, and like when it can technically go negative, and when that happened, it caused problems. So I just made it where one was the minimum.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I feel like I probably got something similar on my first playthrough, so it's all good, man. It's all good. Um, yeah. Look, guys. Can I go to bed? Well,
Yeah.
here's what Saute's saying. Um, yeah, we are pretty polite people. It's incredible how rude some Americans are. Yeah, look, I mean, I live in a city that has lots of tourists. Normally, normally this
Yeah.
is a tourist city. And I definitely notice them, but it's all good, man. It's all good. Um, yeah, much respect. Seriously, much respect. Oh, Eddie is asking about the scoring system, by the way. Um,
Oh, so all right. So basically, the score is based on how many challenges you completed, how many prize bubbles you've collected, um, what your best like low death run was, and what your best time was. So I think each prize bubble is worth 500 points. I think each challenge is worth 1,000 points. I'm trying to remember all the math to it. If you do all the challenges, you get a bonus of something. And then for every death and for every second of your time, it takes some time off of that.
mm-hmm.
So I think to get an A, I think, God, what was it? I can look real quick, honestly.
No, you're okay. Don't worry about it.
It's just in here. Oh yeah, I can just look real quick and
mm-hmm.
tell them exactly. Although I feel bad, I know you're trying to get to sleep.
No, you're okay. You're okay, man. Honestly, I'll get by. There's plenty time to sleep between now and tomorrow, right? It's okay.
So it gives you it just starts you off with 35,000. Your prizes are each worth 500. Challenges are each worth 1,000. You get all the challenges, that gives you a bonus of 10,000. This is just the behind the scenes math.
Mm-hmm.
And then for every death, you lose 1,000. For every second of time you spend, you lose 10 points. So that all adds all that up behind the scenes. And then as far as to get an A, what do you need here? You got to get better than 36,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted it to be like that. You could take your time, find all the prize bubbles, do all the challenges, try and make it through without dying, and past that, it's literally just your time. Just try and get the fastest time you can, and you can get through it in I think the best times right now are around 12 minutes or so.
Okay. That's quite impressive, yeah. 12 minutes is pretty good, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, if you're just ignoring things and just running through, and the big things that take time is the bosses and the raft ride.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else you can kind of just run.
Mm, that's amazing. Yeah, because of course you don't have just a normal sort of time scoreboard as such. So yeah, I guess you have to manually time that yourself. But that's interesting. I never thought about how quickly it could be completed. That's very cool. That's very cool. So yeah, look, man, thanks for coming. And I know we said cut earlier, but probably gonna keep in all that stuff as well, eh? Because why not? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I guess that actually is related.
Yeah, it's okay, man. Don't worry about it. I'm totally new to this. I mean, as you know, anyway, and it's all just a bit of fun. So, yeah, it's all good, man.
Well,
It's all good.
yeah, I think it's cool that there is someone doing real deep dives into dreams. So
Well,
I look forward to seeing more of them.
It's
I'll
only a
keep you.
deep dive if I'm prepared for it, right? Today I just turned up and, I don't know, man, I just turned up. Like, basically, that's all I did. I turned up. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, thanks for putting up with me, and my lack of preparedness just due to real life stuff that's been going on, and lack of sleep and seeing family and stuff. Yeah, man, thanks for putting up with me. It's all good. Thanks for coming on, etc.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Cool. Um, yeah, see, this is the thing, right? Unless one of us leaves this party, we're just gonna keep talking. Like, neither of us are
Okay.
very good at saying goodbye, are we?
We're
Like,
not.
we're
We're
just,
horrible.
yeah, like,
I'll
um,
tell you what.
no, you hang
I'm gonna
up. No,
do.
you hang up.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. I'm gonna do. You know when you're in the hallway
Mm-hmm.
and you both start walking the same direction, and then you get stuck in that just back and forth, and no one ever just stops
Mm-hmm.
and says, "Hey, I'm gonna just stop and let you go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna save us out of out of love.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave this party right now. You have
That's
a
cool.
wonderful night."
Just quickly, before you go, very quickly, very
Oh
quickly.
no! What are you doing? What are you doing? We were so close.
Right, go, 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 go. It's okay. It's okay.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was just going to
I
say
can't
thanks
leave
for.
on that note.
Well, exactly, exactly. I was just going to say thanks for coming on, man. I would happily have you back any time for a bit of random chat when I'm more awake. That's all I'm saying, man. It's cool,
We'll
man.
do.
It's all good.
Let's do it sometimes.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
will see
cool.
you around.
Yeah, see you,
Goodbye.
man. Good luck leaving the party. Good luck leaving. Oh, he left. He left. There we go. He actually left. He's a man of his word. He really is a man of his word. There we go. So look, that was Cutaia. I am legitimately really respectful of their work and everything that they're doing in Dreams and everything that they're doing on Twitch as well. I'm going to post a little link here in the chat. I mean, I'm sure that everyone here already is, but if you're not already, you should go and follow Cutaia. You should also check them out on Twitter. And anywhere else that you can check them out, really. Honestly, they're, you know what I mean, the good stuff. I look forward to seeing what they produce in the future. They're a good creator and they're humble, and when they go to foreign countries, they don't shout. So that's very good, man. It's very good stuff. Now, as I'm sure you've all picked up on, I am absolutely knackered. I've genuinely not slept since I woke up on Thursday morning, and it's currently Saturday morning, technically. So, yeah, look, guys, I think I'm just gonna raid someone right now, okay? I know I normally hang about for a bit afterwards, maybe play some stuff, but I do really need to just try and go to bed. So I'm just gonna raid DJ Frags if that's okay with everyone, okay? I'm setting that up to happen right now, okay? And we're gonna go with it. DJ Frags, this is literally their first night streaming, okay? They've never streamed before. So let's go and give them some support, okay? Let's give them some support. I won't be able to hang out for long because of, you know, bed and stuff, but let's go give them some support, okay? Here we go, here we go. There's like 10 seconds to go, but look, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Please go and play Hops if you haven't already. Please go and support Cutaia. And other than that, please have a good evening, okay? And a good weekend. Take care, everyone. Peace and love. I'm about to press the raid button. Here we go.